Hey Preds Nation, Johnny here. Well, today is the 2023-2024 NHL Trade Deadline, and just as many of us suspected, General Manager Barry Trotz was not finished with moves after previously this week shipping out Yakov Trenin and shipping in Anthony Beauvillier. Friday morning, the Preds have acquired forward Jason Zucker from the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for a 6th-round pick. Really? That's all it took? Apparently so, because as the Preds took all of his salary, that meant that the Preds only had to give up a 6th-round pick for him. If they wanted Arizona to retain any of it, they would have had to cough up something higher. That's fine and dandy. 6th-round pick won't hurt too much, and he is an unrestricted free agent in this upcoming offseason, so he'll just play with the Preds this spring, see what he can do with that 2nd or 3rd line, depending on where him or Beauvillier are slotted, to try and give those younger guys experience, and then in the summer, right off the books. Jason Zucker, originally drafted by the Minnesota Wild with a 59th pick, that's in the 2nd round in a 2010 NHL entry draft, currently has 9 goals and 6 assists this season and is a -5. His experience this season through 51 games that he has played should help the Preds through the remaining 18 games they have this season. But I was surmising when I first saw this trade come through on my Twitter feed, like I'm sure many of you were, doesn't that put the Preds one spot over the roster limit? And you would be correct. That's why Barry Trotz then sent Denis Gurianov, a forward who hasn't worked out as the Preds would have liked this year with this roster. They shipped him to the Philadelphia Flyers for forward Wade Allison, who you would assume is going to be assigned to the Milwaukee Admirals for their title contending drive. Different than the Preds. Hopefully he can help the Admirals, who are currently on a 4-game losing streak after winning 19 consecutive games. Allison, originally drafted 52nd overall by the Flyers in a 2016 entry draft, that's the 2nd round, has split time each season since with the big club and with Philadelphia's farm team. Now, that second trade, if you were following this live, was confirmed well before the trade deadline, which was 12 Pacific and 3 Eastern, leaving many of us to think, okay, Barry Trotz can't be done there, right? Just these trades yesterday and today? That can't be it, can it? Time is passing by, we're getting closer and closer to that cutoff, and we're thinking, Keith Sherwood is still on this roster? Alexander Carrier? Like, really? You're going to risk losing him for nothing? And Tyson Barrie is still here? No offers at all for Lankinen? Nobody needs a goalie? The price can't be that high. Really, Barry? 11 o'clock passes, 11:30, at least for me, Pacific, and then 12 o'clock. It's like, oh no. Oh no! First and foremost, once Barry Trotz held his after trade deadline press conference, it was confirmed that, yep, Tyson Barrie and his agent made calls. Barry tried his best, but there just was no takers for this guy. Should have kept that secret in-house that you wanted out, huh, Tyson? Your price dropped like a thud when you and your agent let it loose. Also, Barry Trotz shared that the current 10-game point streak that the Preds have been on, with 9 wins and 1 overtime loss, convinced Barry not to tinker with the main roster. Also to do with rosters, Barry doesn't want to tinker with the Milwaukee Admirals roster as they are gelling right now, which could mean good things for them in the AHL playoffs coming up and for the Preds later on. So I can totally respect that. And hey, I will give Barry Trotz credit for not mortgaging the Preds' future with a prospect or too high of a draft pick, being only a 5th rounder for Beauvillier and a 6th rounder for Zucker, so it doesn't really hurt them long term, because you got to have really good scouts to hit home runs on picks in those rounds. Also, it was announced for future seasons for the Preds that Mark Janikowski was extended to a 2-year deal. He'll be making $775 next season and $825,000 the season after that as well. Dante Fabro, who would have been a restricted free agent, was extended for another season at $2.5 million. So all of this and Dante Fabro being extended and Alexander Carrier not being moved pretty much confirms for me, barring an injury, Spencer Stastny will remain on the Milwaukee Admirals roster for the remainder of the season. I'm disappointed. The kid deserved a shot at a show for a more full-time basis, but that's fine. Spencer, go get yourself a ring with the Admirals and then prove yourself no more, and you will get a spot on the Preds roster out of training camp on day one. And also, Tyson Barrie, be gone. Be gone, Tyson. You know, a couple of the games before you let this story out were nice, but be gone. July 1st, be gone. Your spot belongs to Spencer moving forward after this summer. One question that I'm left with, and I'm sure a lot of us who follow this team religiously are left with after today, is what does this mean for Alexander Carrier? Let's see what is in store this upcoming spring for this team, for its long-term projections, and then I guess we'll deal with Carrier's contract situation between the end of the Preds season, whenever that comes this spring, and July 1st, when you could still possibly move him, or maybe a miracle will happen and he'll be extended. It's just a waiting game. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media as always, where you can interact with me during Preds games, where I will do a Preds fan reaction after every video, regular season or playoffs, by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption and that another NHL trade deadline has come and gone. And Tyson, against the fans' better judgment, I guess that Barry couldn't move you. We're tied together for the spring, like it or not.